Can we pin Kyle onto Mike Rinder? Well, let me go through the essentials of Kyle's case, which is very tragic and very bizarre, even for Scientology. And definitely Rinder's silence, I want to say, does raise a lot of questions. So the essentials are that Kyle was traveling. He decided to stop by and see his father, who was in Florida. And this is very critical that his mother told the father, Tom, that Kyle needed medication. And if you know Scientology, they're very alarmed about psychologists and prescribing drugs. And she asked explicitly, will this be an issue? Tom said, no, it's fine. It's fine. But then, of course, he shows up to Florida, stays at Tom's apartment, and then mysteriously dies. The official cause is he took his life, and again, he was shot in the head. No bullet was found, and just very, very odd circumstances. If this was what it was, no note was left behind, no signs that he wanted to, quote, end his life, and a lot of outright lying by the police as well as the medical examiner. And if you know the local area of Clearwater, the church clearly exercises massive influence and they have just a lot of resources and a lot of money. So, local officials, frankly, lying about the church is nothing new. This happened in some other cases. This might have happened here. Now, you might wonder, wow, maybe you should go to a higher office, but Kyle's mother has tried, but she's not receiving much help, even from the FBI. Again, this case has been out here for a while, so why it's so quiet is frankly hard to understand. There are enough questions in terms of Tom's story and how it keeps changing. He's given contradictory statements, even in legal depositions, which should be very alarming. But again, nothing has happened. But why? Well, he is a Scientologist, so right away we're going to be suspicious. But this is where it gets really shocking. The auditor who he was working with is Denise, who is David's sister. And David is the nominal head of all of Scientology. It's a very powerful figure, and this is someone closely connected to that family. And the first person to call Kyle's mother was Jerry, Denise's husband. This sounds very, very suspicious, very, very odd. And of course, Jerry's story and Denise's story, they're not cohering. They don't even agree with Tom's story. So the cause at this moment is he took his life for reasons, and the police either were radically incompetent, they destroyed their own notes on the investigation, and outright lied about what people said or didn't say. And you put this all together, a lot of deception, a lot of lying, and just a lot of reluctance on the part of the FBI and others to investigate properly, you can't help but conclude there's definitely a conspiracy at work to silence this entire case because it's just too close to Miscavige and too close to the Church of Scientology. At a deeper level, where does Rinder come in? Well, Rinder headed OSA, and OSA is essentially the CIA of the church. They are the ones who do intelligence, they investigate people, they go after people, they try to defame people. It's very clear OSA is a very powerful agency, and it does work with, quote, ex-police and ex-FBI agents. And again, to be fair, Rinder has spoken on some of these suspicious deaths, but not this one. And again, technically he did leave in the same year, but it's very naive to think he doesn't have contacts still within the church, he doesn't have proteges, he doesn't know the procedures of a cover-up. That's what he did for 20 years. And yet with Kyle, he hasn't said that much. On his blog posts, he does talk about a lot of atrocities and suspicious deaths, but not this one. He just does not get into this case, and neither do the Headleys. It's just very, very strange that the allegedly active anti-Scientologists who have high-ranking official status and even worked for OSA don't have much to contribute here. It could be they don't know anything, but they could be a lot more helpful in amplifying Kyle's voice, his mother's voice, and people asking questions and really wanting a serious investigation into his death, because the official story is frankly just laughable.
Different, something other than what's stated in the police report. And that's what ended up happening in our case. The defendants in the wrongful death lawsuit that we brought, they attached the police report to their motion for summary judgment. So naturally, the judge in the federal district court, he reads this police report, and it seems to be an open and shut case. I mean,
of somebody who is dead at their own hand.
Kyle committed suicide. I mean, but they're lies. They're actual bald-faced lies told by the police and the medical examiner's office in the police report. Lies.